All right, we are going rogue here today. I'm actually down in Mr. Bazan's room, checking out to see if the sound quality in his room is going to be any better than doing it in my room. Today we're talking about compound inequalities. This is where we are combining two inequalities to give us one solution set. The words that we're going to use are either and or. In the word, in a compound inequality, we're using and. It has to be the solution set that satisfies both of those together. Right? And you'll see this as we graph these on a number line. With the or, it has to be either this one or this one, whichever works for either or. And once again, you'll see really what that means better when we put it on a number line. So, first one here. I want to also talk about and. When we have inequalities with and, we can push them together, right? And have them written in one of two ways as well, right? You can have them with 13 mil, just kind of taking out the word and in one of the 13s. Or you can do the actual 180 of it, kind of flip it around and put this in the front, right? And put that in the back, right? So you can have, a lot of times when we have and inequalities, we put them together instead of writing the word and. Like I've said multiple times, in math we like to write as little as possible. Let's look at solving one of these inequalities here with an and. What I really need to first do is separate the inequality here. So I'm going to get 5h plus 3 is greater than 13, and 13 is greater than 2h minus 7. Now I'm going to solve the two separate inequalities. And I get h is greater than 2, and then over here at 7, divide by 2, and I get 10 is greater than h. Now let's look at those on the number line. So let's first graph this one right here, h is greater than 2. So I'm going to put an open circle at 2. There's 2, right? In my line, h is greater is going to go off that way, right? Different color here for 10 is greater than h. So I'm going to have an open circle once again because it's not or equal to. There's 10. Right? And h is going to be the smaller numbers than 10, right? 10 is bigger than h. H has to be smaller. So it's going to go this way. So as you look at this graph, the part that's the same is the solution set. The part that's the same is between these two circles. That's the part that's going to be the solution set for this one. The two lines overlap at that spot. So when we're looking for an and statement, we're actually looking for the solution set is the numbers that are on the overlapping of the two lines when we graph them. So between 2 and 10, right? Those are my solutions. Those numbers will satisfy both of the inequalities. They will satisfy both this one and this one over here, right? Now let's look at an or. Same idea here. We can't combine an or, right? We don't put them, squeeze them together because then you'd be confused with an and. Right? So we do always leave the word or there. Right? We go ahead and solve these. Let me solve this one here. Subtract 2c. 2c is less than or equal to negative 10. Divide by 2, divide by 2. C is less than or equal to negative 5. Take my other one. Negative 3c is less than negative 12. Divide by negative 3. Since I'm dividing by negative, I do have to flip my inequality sign. Negative 12 divided by negative 3 is a positive 4. So as I go about graphing these ones, negative 5 is over here. It's going to be a closed circle because it is the or equal to, right? And c is less than negative 5, so it is going to go off that way. And on the other side here, c is greater than 4. 4 is going to be over here. This one has an open circle. And going greater would be going off towards the right. That is my solution set for this one. Any number -5 or smaller works, or any number bigger than 4 works. Right? Because it has to work for one or the other, not both. It has to work for one or the other. It could work for both in some situations, but it just has to work for at least one of them, this or this. That's the word, right? Or. All right. After you're done watching the video, there are 2 questions I want you guys to answer for me. All right. Kind of a check to make sure you guys watched it. All right. Give me a little bit of feedback here for class. Okay. I will see you tomorrow, and we'll do some more work with these in class. And once again, explain it real quick at the beginning of class.